Bruselský Pavilion was built in 1958 by architects František Huber, Josef Hruby, and Zdeněk Piorny for the Czechoslovak Pavilion for Expo 58 in Brussels. This World's Fair was the first major international exhibition after World War II, and its theme reflected a sense of optimism about the future and a better life for humanity. Out of 42 participating countries, the Czechoslovak Pavilion won the grand prize, or Golden Star, for its combination of modern technology, art, and interior design. After the exhibition ended, the pavilion was dismantled and moved to Prague, where it now stands in Letna Gardens. Today the building serves as a cafe and exhibition space as well as an auction house. Bruselský Pavilion also has a few different office spaces, but I couldn't find exactly what goes on in there. Judging from the exterior, it looks like maybe a WeWork type of space. What makes Bruselský Pavilion so interesting is that it takes the modernist ideas popular in architecture at the time and gives them a more organic, expressive feel. It still uses modern materials and functional design, but instead of looking cold or rigid, the building has a soft, abstract shape that feels much more alive. Today, because it sits within the natural setting of Letna Gardens, the building's flowing form feels even more connected to the landscape around it. The pavilion also reflected a theme of individuality through its exhibits, which were divided into work, culture, and rest under the slogan, "One Day in Czechoslovakia," highlighting the day-to-day life of man. To me, Bruselský Pavilion represents the shift from modern to postmodern architecture. The building looks like a piece of modernist architecture with its use of concrete, steel, and glass to create a minimalist design. Yet, the design isn't purely functional and rigid like many early modernist designs. Even the original motif of individuality that was apparently present in the decoration has become ubiquitous throughout the postmodern era of architecture. When taking into consideration its popularity at the World's Fair, it's definitely not unreasonable to believe that this building was influential in architecture as a whole. This flavor of modernist architecture is one of my favorite styles because it blends nature and function. Nature is full of beauty, and I like when architects utilize the landscape instead of trying to overpower it. Styles like Baroque can be beautiful, but they can also feel a little too imposing for me. Bruselský Pavilion is different because it embraces asymmetry and organic forms, making it feel alive. It feels as though the building is literally growing out of the earth. I also really connect with the functional aspects of the building. I would want to live or work somewhere that encourages creativity and productivity, and I think the space around you influences this heavily. It makes me think, how can I expect myself to imagine outside-the-box ideas working in a cubicle? I think that most people would agree that this space is more inspiring than the typical office space. The Bruselský Pavilion feels much more open, creative, and alive. Even though I can still appreciate the grandeur of a Gothic cathedral or a Baroque palace, this kind of architecture feels more suited to the person I'd like to be, adaptable, creative, and open to growth.